All right, good morning out there. It is August 31st, 2018. It's hard to believe, but this is the last day of August. Now, it was a pretty slow news week. It feels like the entire industry, and really, especially here in Minneapolis, everyone's already gearing up for Labor Day weekend. So normally we pick 5 stories, but this week, guys, we've just got 3 for you. So in honor of the 3-day weekend, here are our 3 favorite stories of the week. And I gotta tell you, we do really like the stories that we picked. All right, the first headline, something near and dear to my heart, if you've been following us for a while, is Amazon Go. Amazon Go opened their new store in Seattle this week. It's their second store. Now, there's something remarkable about this store when you compare it to the first Amazon Go store, and that is that it's smaller. The first Amazon Go store was 1,800 square feet. This store is actually 1,400 square feet. Early reports actually had this store as big as 3,000 square feet too. So what's going on? Well, there's a number of things that are decidedly different about this store. First of all, the store no longer carries alcohol. Second, they don't carry staples. They don't carry things like bread and milk, things that you probably would want to come in and pick up pretty quickly. And then lastly, I found this really interesting too. They no longer have on-site food prep in the Amazon Go store like they do in their first store. Now, if I was the competition, I would be looking at this and saying, holy crap, this gives me some hope. And here's the reason why. First of all, it's really weird to test in reverse. You don't see that very often. You don't see things get put out as a test, especially a test that was closed to the public and only open to employees for about a year, and now suddenly it gets smaller. That tells me as you got into real customers, or as they started putting Amazon Go out in front of real customers, some of the subjectivity, number 2, got really difficult to handle. Things like ID checks, or managing inventory day in and day out through, say, the bread and milk distribution network. That is complicated. It requires nuance. This isn't as simple as just an e-commerce portal that doesn't require human interaction. Physical store operations are different, and so that could possibly be why Amazon has scaled this back. The other things that I don't love about it is at Shop Talk just this past March, the Amazon leadership was up on stage saying how on-site food prep was such a key part of this experience, and yet now it's gone. Now they're making everything off-site. They're bringing it in plastic laminated packages. So now my banh mi sandwich was supposed to be all fresh is now plastic and laminated, made somewhere else off-site. I find that interesting because it's not the same ethos of what they were talking about before. Combine all those things with the fact that we still also don't know what the plans for Chicago and San Francisco are. They've been very quiet about it. We don't know when their stores are going to open, and we don't know how big they're going to be either. That it makes me wonder if at the end of the day, there isn't less actually to Amazon Go than meets the eye. Cue Transformers. All right, number 2, Ross Stores has announced that they're going to open up 100 new stores. Now, we don't usually talk about Ross, but I got to tell you, this segment of business has been really hot. Whether it's Ross, TJX, the treasure hunt discount find has been off the charts lately. And so it's not surprising that that's the one aspect of physical retail that's still working. Now, the reason for that is it's this whole idea of the treasure hunt. You go in, you don't know what you're going to find. You could find something that surprises and delights you. And that's a really hard experience to simulate online. No one has cracked the code on that. But I caution one thing. I caution leaders of Ross, I caution leaders of TJX, is that your business model could still also be disrupted in the future. And so if I were you, the one thing I would be doing as a leader of that company is figuring out how to disrupt myself. And that's intentionally why I put this story after what we just talked about with Amazon Go. Whether you want to use visual recognition or whether you want to use scan and go technology, you can make the treasure hunt experience that much better in store if you think about how to do it with a new technological platform. A couple things just for food for thought. Imagine a scan and go experience where I use my mobile phone to walk through that treasure hunt experience. I can now gamify that experience with a one-to-one personal connection to my consumer with my mobile phone. I can throw fun things at them, fun deals. I can even probably put some AR into that experience. It gets really interesting. And then from an operational perspective, all of the pricing's done on the phone, so I don't have to price anything out there on the sales floor. And then in reality, I also know using visual recognition where everything is in that floor. So customers can just come in and walk out, but more importantly, my sales staff can just put whatever they want, wherever in the heck they want it. That is one experience. It's almost like a garage sale that I would love to shop at. And I'd love to shop that garage sale experience far more than the one down the street with my neighbor. Sorry, Denny. All right, story number 3. Black Diamond has recently balked at Walmart's decision to try to sell their products on Walmart.com through their acquisition of Moose Jaw. Now, this is probably my favorite story of the week. And we predicted that it was going to happen, and now it has, excuse me. So expect more of it too. Now, here's the quick background. Walmart spent about $51 million to acquire Moose Jaw. The idea was to give Walmart even more access to the Walmart assortment. But it doesn't work that way. Just because Walmart acquired Moose Jaw doesn't mean the brands that Moose Jaw sells want to be sold at Walmart. I got to tell you, I've lived this. I've been down this road. Brands are particular about their distribution. Black Diamond is essentially saying, nice try. Don't try to pass off our previous relationship with Moose Jaw as our tacit approval that you can start selling our product on Walmart.com. Why don't you take it down? And so borrowing the ski analogy, I think this is just one of the very first moguls that Walmart is going to face in trying to incorporate this strategy over the long term. There's a limit to how far their brand will extend. That closes us up for the week. Ann and I have a ton of travel coming up over the next few months. We're out at shop.org in the middle of September. Then we're out at retail spaces in Arizona. And then we finish up October at Grocery Shop. We're excited because we're actually going to be live podcasting from both shop.org and Grocery Shop from their podcast venues. So if you're interested, stop on by. If you want to be interviewed, let us know. And I'm sure Ann will be there providing autographs for anyone interested. I'm excited as well because this week, tonight, Friday night, is the kickoff of the Stanford football season. So go Cardinal. And as always, be careful out there.